So recently, the reboot of The Amazing World of Gumball was announced. After years of wondering what happened after it ended in 2019, we're getting it back. It's now called The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball. And when this was announced, I was actually pretty excited at first. And then I realized it's going to be on Hulu or Disney Plus. So it's going to be a streaming show. At this moment, I'm not too sure how it's going to be aired, whether it's going to be aired weekly or if it's going to just be dropped all at once. Netflix would definitely have dropped the whole thing at once. I wouldn't have had to wonder that. But the thing is, once I found out these were going to streaming services, it was like a weird feeling. I just stopped being excited. I just stopped being excited altogether. It genuinely killed all my hype for it. And not because I don't want to see Gumball. I'm still gonna watch it, and I do have a lot of hope for the series, but it took a lot of the air out of it. And it's actually made me realize that new TV series have had their hype killed because of the fact that they're on streaming services. And because of that, I thought more and more of it, and I realized, oh, you know, I think streaming services are kind of making TV shows less exciting. And yep, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And look, don't get me wrong, I completely understand why people have left behind cable TV and cord cutting happened. I understand that we are way past the era of broadcast TV live, on cable with commercials. The thing is, however, there is something that the era of cable TV had that honestly streaming services do not have, which is it really made every single new episode of a TV show into an event in the sense that you could look forward to it either weekly or scheduled wise, and it would have a set time that you could plan for and everything would work properly. However, this is just not the case at all when it comes to streaming services. When it comes to streaming services, you basically can watch it whenever. And don't get me wrong, that is in many cases a good thing. I started watching Breaking Bad in 2018, and I definitely enjoyed that I didn't have to wait after those cliffhangers. However, here's the thing, if Breaking Bad didn't get that original TV run, I probably wouldn't have ever watched it in the first place because it likely wouldn't have survived if it was on Netflix from the beginning and just dropped on Netflix immediately. I don't think that it would have had that because shows like that, you have to build a community around the story that is evolving as your life also goes on. That's what makes TV shows build up, and I think that's what the magic of it were. Now, to a degree, I feel that some streaming services, a good one like Apple TV with Severance, they kind of adjusted for this by making it a weekly thing, and that allowed it to be more of an event where the community could build up hype for it as it went on. So that was a good replacement. However, again, the main thing about it is the streaming service aspect. It kind of makes it more secluded and it makes it feel less it makes it feel less of a community experience and less of a gargantuan event as a whole. Remember, a lot of big TV shows were huge. Like the series finale of Seinfeld was aired in Times Square with a whole crowd watching it. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I don't think that a large audience for a TV show means that much. There will always be a community for something. However, I think that the biggest thing is that as an event, it feels like an experience when you're watching something live. And look, Cartoon Network as a whole, there's no kidding, there's no joking around it. It's been well known. I mean, nobody watches kids channels anymore. That Coco Melon took that over. So I completely understand that. But the thing is, when I was watching new episodes of TV shows, especially on Cartoon Network or live, it was always a nice experience. It always felt like a new event and a new big point in life. It really was a gargantuan feeling that every new episode had. The feeling of just something happening right now that we're all viewing, I really miss that feeling, and I think that's been missing from a lot of new shows. I think that getting to experience something live is incredible, and I think it adds to the feeling, especially if you love it. And this isn't me saying I think broadcast TV or the old school format should be what it is, right? Because I completely get it. Dealing with commercials was annoying. Dealing with broadcast TV having signal issues was annoying. Just having, in many cases, of course, yeah, having to wait for another new episode. Some people do not like that. And also getting to watch it again could be hard, though now with the internet it's a little bit more easy. So the solution really, ironically, Adult Swim has started doing this, and a lot of other channels have started doing this on TV, you know, for basically most of the people that watch it that are not live anymore, because again, who's watching TV at this point? um, which is there will be a live premiere for it, but then the next day it goes on the streaming service. That is a perfect idea, and I think that in many cases that is a perfect solution to this entirely, and I wish Gumball had done that. I wish there had been a premiere on Cartoon Network, and then the day after it goes on Hulu or Disney Plus or Max, or thank God it's called HBO Max again now. That would have made me so much more excited for it. Unfortunately, seeing it like this, it just makes it feel like an interchangeable program that a streaming service has acquired, which again, that just kind of kills the hype. And I just hope one day we can go back to some form of making TV shows special and an event and not just something that can just be gathered for content on streaming services. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of rant a little bit about that. Hope you guys have a great day.